Okay, let's talk about something that is just so frustrating. You do everything you're supposed to do, you get your solid 8 hours of sleep, and you still wake up feeling completely wiped out. If that sounds like you, well, you're definitely in the right place. We are going to unravel this mystery together.
Right? This is the big question. It's the one you ask yourself when that alarm clock blares. You followed the rules, you hit that magic number, but your energy is just flatlining. It honestly feels like you've been cheated out of a good night's rest.
So for this explainer, we're going to be detectives. Seriously, we're treating this whole thing like a mystery case. We're going to follow the clues, hunt down the culprits, and figure out what is robbing you of your energy so you can finally crack your own case.
All right, every good investigation starts by questioning the main assumption. And for us, that's the idea that 8 hours is the perfect, universal amount of sleep for everyone. So let's put that clue under the microscope and see if it holds up.
And boom, here is our first major piece of evidence, and this comes from Rye Science. For almost half of all adults, that's right, nearly half, 8 hours isn't some ideal goal, it's the absolute minimum. This tells us right away that the whole 8-hour rule is really more of a suggestion.
And that brings us to this idea of sleep need. Just think of it like your height or your shoe size. It's literally baked into your DNA, and it's totally unique to you. So, your best friend might feel amazing on 7.5 hours, but maybe your body needs 9 hours to really feel recharged. That 8-hour number might just not be your number.
And that leads us to our next clue. Because even if you get the quantity right, the quality of that sleep can change everything. You know, if your sleep keeps getting broken up all night, you never get into those super deep restorative stages. And that's exactly why you can be in bed for 9 hours and still wake up feeling like you barely slept a wink.
Okay, our investigation is now leading us to something you can think of as your sleep account. Because it turns out, just like money, sleep is something you can actually go into debt on, and it adds up fast.
It's called sleep debt, and what it is the grand total of all the sleep you've missed out on over the last 2 weeks. So, let's say you got a great 8 hours last night. Fantastic! But if you were only getting 6 hours a night for the 5 nights before that, you're still deep in the red. That exhaustion you feel? That's your body basically sending you an overdue notice.
You know what else messes up your sleep account? A chaotic schedule. Sleeping in on the weekends feels like such a treat, but it can totally scramble your body's internal clock. That's your circadian rhythm. This messes with all the hormones that are supposed to make you feel awake and ready to go in the morning. So an all-over-the-place schedule can leave you feeling just permanently groggy.
Okay, but what if you figured out your sleep need, you're keeping a consistent schedule, you've paid down your debt, and you're still tired? Well, now it's time to look for suspects that are operating from inside the house, or in this case, inside your own body.
Our investigation is now turning to 3 accomplices that could be behind this crime of chronic fatigue. We're going to look at each one and see if we can find our culprit.
First up, a nutrient deficiency. And a 2024 study points to a really common one, a lack of vitamin B12. It's absolutely crucial for your energy and your nervous system, and not having enough can lead directly to that feeling of being totally drained.
And check out the evidence from that study. It's pretty incredible. When patients got treated for their B12 deficiency, they started sleeping almost a full hour longer each night. But even more amazing, their sleep quality score went from being officially poor all the way to good. It's such a powerful reminder that what's going on inside our bodies has a massive impact on our rest.
Okay, suspect number 2 is chronic stress. You know, when you're stressed all the time, it can throw your body's whole stress response system, it's called the HPA axis, completely out of balance. And this leads to what we all know as burnout, which is basically a state where your body just can't manage stress hormones properly anymore.
And burnout isn't just one thing. In the early stages, you might feel what they call tired but wired. You're exhausted, but your mind just won't shut off. But in the later stages, that can turn into this deep, unshakable fatigue, brain fog, and just zero motivation. See if either of those sounds a little too familiar.
And our final hidden saboteur, well, it's all about your breathing. Research shows that something as simple as a blocked nose can have a huge negative effect on your sleep. It's like a co-conspirator in sleep problems.
You see, things like sleep apnea or even just really bad congestion can cause these tiny little micro-awakenings all night long. Your brain is constantly yanking you out of that deep, good stuff just to make sure you're breathing okay. You won't remember any of it in the morning, but oh, your body definitely feels the effects.
So, we've looked at your sleep patterns, we've looked inside your body. Now it's time to zoom out and investigate the scene of the crime, your daily life.
Because the habits you have all day long can absolutely wreck your night.
Here's some of the usual suspects. That afternoon cup of coffee, it's still swimming in your system when you're trying to sleep. And alcohol, yeah, it might make you feel sleepy at first, but it totally fragments your sleep later, destroying the quality. Late night meals, scrolling on your phone, intense workouts, these are all classic sleep saboteurs.
Okay, we have gathered a ton of clues and we've identified the main suspects. Now it's time to put it all together and finally crack this case. Let's build a real plan to solve your personal energy crisis for good.
Here it is, your 4-step action plan. First, you've got to figure out your real personal sleep need. Second, start paying down that sleep debt by being as consistent as you can. From there, think about those hidden factors: stress, nutrients, breathing. And finally, do an audit of your daily habits and see where you can make some easy improvements. So, the case file is officially in your hands now. You've seen all the evidence, and you have a framework to get started. The only question left is, where are you going to start your investigation? Which one of these clues will you follow first to finally get your energy back?